landing craft, VTLs, that when Preminger made the movie The Longest Day, they had his group do the landing in Normandy, and he was driving one of the LSTs. He was.
That I didn't know
You
either.
didn't know that? That's a true story. But Preminger would not allow his people or the military group to get any compensation because the military said they're doing their job. So they never got anything.
They didn't get a free ticket to the movie.
Not even a free ticket to the movie.
Who was that?
Otto Preminger who did The Longest Day. Pretty sure. Oh, it was Joey.
Okay.
Joey Lucy, driving the LST. And that movie was made in 1962, I believe it was.
Might have been earlier because when the Cuban crisis happened was 61, wasn't it?
61 could have been. I don't know. How does that figure in?
Well, Joey went in 1960 and he got out in 62 because he was a reserve and only had to do 2 years.
Okay, so it had to be between 60 and 62 right in that area to do the landing craft. Let's Google that. John's got it. Longest Day, John.
Okay. Uncle B said that didn't go to the war because he was an essential employee at AP&L. Is that true?
That could very well be. That could very well be. I don't know. But he worked for Phil McCorkle as an apprentice for office machinery. And he did that for a year, maybe two. And then he went to work for the Arkansas Power Line.
But this is how we know Aunt Mary Jo.
Yes.
From Phil McCorkle.
Right.
That makes sense.
Did you ever heard
Does that
of
make
Mary
sense?
Jo?
Mary Jo McCorkle.
Mary Jo
We
McCorkle.
called her Aunt Mary Jo.
We called her Aunt Mary Jo because Uncle Phil, which was just a good friend of Daddy's, they worked together, and Daddy was the apprentice working for the office machinery. Okay, he was the apprentice. And then they were such good friends, I think Uncle Phil was Daddy's best man. So that's why we call him Uncle and Aunt. Ed McCorkle in Arkadelphia. Ed McCorkle is a lawyer, or was a lawyer, is a lawyer, whatever. Was always my cousin.
Yep.
And I don't know what he's doing now, but I know his grandfather owned the newspaper there in Arkadelphia. What was the name of that?
Daily Siftings Herald was one of them.
But he owned Patho McCorkle owned the newspaper just because that's how Daddy got to know Phil Jr.
Okay. But she was helping me grow up right, which I always retaliated against because I didn't want to grow up just right. I didn't.
And he never did.
You never, ever did.
That my friends did.
Never ever.
Like I told you that I drove up behind my dad.
He was getting a taste.
Yeah, I was after it too.
Yeah.
At 16.
I can remember there's one particular trip that we made to the rodeo. We went to the rodeo quite frequently, okay? And because Joey said, I gotta go to Arkadelphia. Mom would say, what for? You know, have Mom. I left some stuff down there, so I gotta go get it. Okay. So he'd take off and go to Arkadelphia. Pick your dad up from the store, they'd go get the taste and go to the rodeo.
Yeah.
I went this one night, I went with them, and we were behind in the pens, and Joey was trying to teach me how to tie up the cattle. So the steer riders,
Oh my gosh.
bull riders could
Yeah,
ride.
yeah.
And I dang near got kicked, so I says bye, and I went up and stayed up in the stands. Your dad was finishing up his taste, and he threw the bottle over the back of the grandstand.
Yeah.
You know, it was like about like that. And it was gone, and he tossed it, and it hit a car down, and it was crash. Yeah, it ain't nothing. Okay,
Let me guess, it was something.
I don't know.
and after the rodeo ceased for the evening, Joey picked him up, helped him pick him up, helped pick him up, and take him downstairs, and we got in the car and left.
That was more anticlimactic.
Well, and I'll just tell you one of myself. I was with the Neal side of the family and went with them to the Rocking U roundup and sitting on the tall fence. What did you got, darling? Undying. If there's anything left.
She's trying to force us into stuff.
So I'm sitting on this fence. It's a 2x8 or a 2x10, and I'm sitting, and they hand me chewing tobacco.
No, I can't.
So I said, okay, I'll chew. I'll try it out. So I got a big wad. I stuck it in my cheek. Yeah, I'm got it. Well, the pen behind me, they opened and let the brimmers in. And they were hitting around and kicking. One of them hit the fence I'm on. I swallowed that chew.
We just got ice cream.
I never chewed again.
There you go. Karma.
How old were you, Jack?
14.
That's older than I expected you to be. I mean, really. We were talking about Mom smoking Uncle Jay's butts when she was 6 or 7 years old.
That I never knew.
Oh, really?
Thought I heard that one.
She started smoking when she was 6 or 7 years old. She took out Uncle Jay's butts.
I believe it.
All I remember was when I started working with you at Glen Eagle. He was smoking at the time, and it was a cool thing to do. So I stole a pack of cigarettes from the clubhouse. Came home, was in the basement, lit one up. My
Get
mother
sick?
walked. Oh no, Mom walked down, and I stuff it under the table so nobody would know. Calm as you could be. Just because your father smokes doesn't mean you can. She must have told Dad, because Dad, when we got in the car, I don't know, a day or two later, he goes, Mom told me she caught you smoking. I'm like, no. He's like, don't do it again. I'm like, but you smoke. I'm old enough to do it. I never smoked another day in my life.
Good.
It was just a weird. It was weird because I got caught.
I've smoked, I've drank.
1995. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick was born.
Yeah.
I guess he came home on yesterday. He was 1 pound, 11 ounces. He was born 15 weeks early.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was so small he could fit.
He was a big, yeah.
I couldn't smoke in the house anymore, so I had to quit. I went to a hypnotist and got hypnotized. And smoked then.
Really? That's amazing.
Some people do go for hypnotists and they forget it or whatever, and they still smoke. But I don't know. I took it to heart because, like she said, Nick came home
I think that's what it was.
and he was on up. I was afraid to blow up the house.
I think that was a lot of what it was. I think that's why you stopped. I don't think it had anything to do with blowing up the house. I think you were more concerned about Nick.
Could be.
So.
So the movie came out in '62, was probably obviously shot before that. The Missing
Yeah.
Crisis was October '62, so they're all
Okay.
about the same time.
Was it Preminger though?
He was on the APA 44 Fremont. He was a gunner's mate. And he learned how to tie knots and everything else while he was in. And he would make doilies and all this stuff. Really good sized stuff with knots and all that. Some really magnificent stuff. And all the knots.
Stuff, right?
He took a sheet of canvas, I would say 3 feet wide, 5 feet long, and he undid it all
Down to the thread.
down to the thread, and he had from the very top of this canvas sheet, which was only maybe this much, the rest of it was not. He tied, and beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Whatever happened to that, Frank?
I can't tell you. I don't know. But it was given to somebody else. I don't
Well, I
know.
was gonna say it's probably Joella or Trey.
Maybe.
Okay.
Join the
So,
conversation. Come with us.
so Jeannie, give us we're gonna do the younger 3 siblings now. So Jeannie, give us a overview of Uncle Baldy's life.
Oh my goodness, do you have time? Oh, y'all do? Oh goodness, I mean,
Well, let's start with why was he called Baldy in the first place?
well, we talked about that, we had that. As far as
shaved
you know,
wrong.
it was Uncle Jay cutting his hair, and he didn't get a chance to cut for Jason, and so he got stuck with Baldy. But everybody called him that. Everybody, people wouldn't know his name, Jesse or Carol.
He even had Baldy on his uniform.
Oh, he did that. Yeah, in person. He actually started working for.
Jeannie, talk louder.
Okay, he started working for Arclaw. Of course, it was just called Arkansas Louisiana Gas Company, and I don't even know what year that was. But he actually did the books, and I remember several nights a week, he and Mother would be up there. I guess she helped him with them or something, because that was more than an 8-hour job. I mean, it was more than 8 to 5, and he would be up there working on the books, and Mike and I would be running through we had to run through the gas company, the office, and everything, and look behind every nook and cranny. Oh, we had a ball. That was great. So I remember actually going there, and when he was working, and then he didn't. I don't know what point he decided he wanted to work outside. Then he worked outside for many years. And he tried to make it to 40, but that's when he got cancer. And so he retired just before I think it was 83 or 4, probably 84 when he retired. He had a wonderful retirement party. They just, I think I have it on tape, but they really did something really nice for him for his retirement. He was just a character. I mean, I remember he loved kids. He loved all the games and everything. And he said the first game that he ever took me to was a baseball game down the Sweet Hill, bottom of the hill where the junior league played. And he sat me on. He turned a pail upside down, and I sat on that pail and watched my first baseball game. And then, then my brother played Little League, and we went to all those games. But then when we got to high school, one year Arkadelphia was playing Fairview, which is Fairview Camden. Their mascot was a cardinal. Do y'all remember Tom's drive-through, Tom Freeman's drive-through? Anybody remember Tom's drive-through?
His daughter, one of his daughters worked there.
Yeah. Well, it's right around the corner from your house.
Yeah.
On 67.
Right.
He barbecued. Okay.
Yeah.
So Dad got him to dye a rooster red. And he took that rooster to that football game and set it up on the goalpost of the opposing team. And I mean, he single-handedly won that game, I think. But at the end, at some point during the game, what we used to call hoods from Fairview decided they were going to take that rooster. But they didn't know my dad. There's about 4 of them, and they looked tough, but they didn't get the rooster. But they splashed the tires on our high school band buses. So Dad kind of got in trouble for that, and he had to kind of stop all that after that. But one other time, Tommy Husbands had all those cats. We were talking about earlier. He gathered up bags. He had those big old
Kroger sacks.
well, no, the other sacks, the potato sacks. Potato sacks. What was that? Anyway, yeah. And he put those cats in there, and at the end of the game, I think that was Camden Panthers in Arkadelphia, at Anderson Stadium where they played football. At the end of the game, he let those cats out, and everybody started chasing them all over. I bet you they never found all of them. I have a feeling. So that was before the dyed rooster. And then we kept that rooster. At one time I had a parakeet, I had a cat, a dog, and a rooster for a pet. We kept that rooster. I mean, that boy lived a long time. We kept him, and I don't know if he ever faded out or not, his red. He was dyed red. So those are some things my dad, he was always thinking of things like that.
I can remember one time I went with your dad. He went to collect on one of the people down in the black country, and this old lady, she didn't have a bra on or anything else, and it was a low-cut dress, and she leaned over the handrail that was on, talking to your daddy, and both of them fell out.
I guess we just went on it with
It didn't faze him a bit. He just kept going. He said, I gotta have the money now. I can't be looking at that and worrying about your money. I want the money. Finally, he walked away because she didn't give him any money. She okayed Miss whatever your name is. We'll fix your paperwork.
Well, one lady fussed at him said that her bill was too high.
Yeah.
And he said, well, if you'll put a brick on that meter, next month your bill will be lower. And so I don't know how that turned out. I don't know.
One time coming on Highway 67 from where the aluminum mill is. What's that?
Yeah,
Mountains. But it was coming north on 67. There was a car that pulled over, and the woman out there was asking for help. When he pulled over, they were going to rob him. they had their door open.
Yeah.
And anyway, somehow he jumped back in and took off and tore their door off the car.
Yeah. He did the last, it was out way out in the country somewhere, he had been to a singing, and they, he realized something told him this picture, something wrong with this picture, and so he jumped in the car and took off, and they were wanted in Illinois, and they got caught. They got caught. Yeah, I think he may have turned them in or something. Yeah, that really happened.
Yeah.
Hey, he was a wonderful, I love that man to this day. He was a wonderful father and a wonderful husband. He was weird, he was all down, and he was so stupid.
That's where I got mine.
He was just great. So I don't know what else to say about him except he was just wonderful.
He'd come by, since he was a meter man, a meter reader, he'd come by every week, anytime he came to see his little mother. Never had to say little mother.
Every day.
Well, I guess it was every day. Come see the lady.
That's what Mom was saying earlier, is that he would come every day to see his little mother come back.
Yeah. And he would for sure call, if he didn't go there every day, he would call her. And I was telling him earlier on Mother's Day morning, he would call me early in the morning, Mother, can I wear a red rose today? That's who he was. So, he was a trip. He was a trip.
Any other uncle
There's a
I
lot.
remember him always wearing those work boots.
Yeah, those boots.
Work boots
Oh,
and
yeah.
coveralls. One work boot was always stuck on the top.
And he wore several pairs of socks. He'd always buy his boots larger. He might have had on 3 or 4 pairs of socks underneath.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember how many, but he would, I guess it just insulated it. He had beautiful feet. They were soft. I guess, seriously, he wore 3 or 4 pairs of socks.
Well, I remember one time, and this is embarrassing, but y'all came over to visit, Mary and you and Mike, and we played and stuff, and as y'all getting ready to go, he picks up each one of you by the heel and shakes you before y'all leave.
What was that? Oh, in case we stole something?
Yeah!
Shut us down. Yeah, he did.
He picked them up by the heels and shake them before we left, make sure they didn't take something from Marietta or from me.
I need to get the siblings' take on this story. What's your testimony? Okay. Barry, are you going to sign on to the shaking kids by their heels story? Were you too young? Oh, not even here.
Come up here and join the group.
Or a contemporary account.
They played, the kids played, when they got ready to go. This only happened one time. We picked Mike up and shook him by the heels, and then Amy up and shook her by the heels to make sure they didn't take it.
I guess he must have seen us get something. I can't remember.
Well, did anything fall out?
I hope not.
Yeah, he doesn't know this story. We're way older than him.
There wasn't a little pile of coins underneath them afterward.
No, there was nothing.
The thing I remember about Uncle Baldy is that he came to see Nanny every day. And we'd come have coffee with her. And one time Barry was a toddler.
Oh, Yellerhammer.
He was sitting in the kitchen in the floor with a jar of jelly. And had it all over him. And Uncle Baldy thought that was the funniest thing in the world. And he picked him up and took him outside. And I was big enough to remember that and Mama took that picture of him. And Baldy was cracking
been up. That's Baldy's hand. If you look at that picture, that's Baldy's hand holding Barry.
Did he spray him down to clean him
I
up?
don't remember how he got clean, but he looked like he had been in a, cat fight. But it was jelly.
That picture's over there on the big board.
Okay, it's on the big board.
But everybody had names. He was Yellerhammer.
Yeah.
Yellerhammer.
Can you say that?
Yellerhammer.
Gotcha.
Not yellow.
Not
I
Yeller.
I was Sweetie.
You were what?
Sweetie.
Sweetie. And she had a pissy blanket. Yeah.
We're not on me.
And Dad was Tom.
And Danny was Casey.
Casey?
Jones.
Casey Jones.
okay.
Yeah.
Because the railway. Railway. Can you say it? And your daddy called me Dr. I.
So why did he call him Dr. Why did he call you Dr.
Well, no, Einstein, I wouldn't know.
Okay. I can agree. But Joey learned from Uncle Baldy to give everybody names. Yeah, he started calling. There was one lady that they asked about earlier today. Who were the girls that lived down the street from us? It was Kathy and Janet. And he named Janet Miss Simpson. Why? I have no idea. He gave Mary.
Move on, y'all, because we gotta get out here.
You told Joey? What Joey called you?
But he gave you the name.
So who's the next one after Baldy?
Biggest memory of Joey
What?
is, for whatever reason, I was allowed to go to the movie.
That Uncle Jack said,
Joey and
okay.
Joey to see Bullet.
I think we gotta move on to the next.
We gotta move on to Amen.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing for me. Joe and Frank took me in 1940 something or early 50 something pickup truck, let me drive out in the field. They're in the truck with me. I'm about 4 or 5 years old. You remember that?
I don't know.
Okay, so Maxine. First, I want to read a little bit of what Uncle Jack, Jackie Woman, told me about her when she was a little girl. He said, no little boys picked on me because she took care of me. She wasn't mean, just very protective. And then I guess Uncle Baldy and Mom and Uncle Jack and Nanny obviously moved to Arkadelphia and lived on Clinton Street in the house that Uncle Baldy owned or Uncle Jay.
Well, the rent check that we found was John Murray
I
and
had
I
always
found it.
heard that it was to Uncle Jay, but the rent check was
It was Uncle Baldy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Besides,
anyway, they lived on that. I think that house was on Clinton Street. Yes, and Paul and Mamaw lived on Clinton Street. So I guess
Down at the end in the big 2-story house.
so that's how they.
Well, I'm not sure, but that house became, it was a rental later.
Not for Mom and
The
Daddy.
big house that was yellow and brown or yellow and,
Not to Mom and Daddy.
no,
Oh,
Mamaw's house.
yeah. But not to, we didn't, no, they didn't rent it out. They rented it, but not rented it out.
Okay, they were the renters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they lived up in the second story, because I can remember walking up it's 42 steps or whatever. I don't know, maybe it was 10. But I remember walking up those stairs to go to Aunt Maxine's house. And that was right after they got married, I think. Barley was the,
I wonder.
That's true. So, all after she finished high school, she went to cosmetology school, and then she moved out to California. And do you know why she came back? She lived in A&F doing the nails of the stars. And how come she came back? Do you know? Okay, well, nobody knows.
How long did she do that?
How long did she stay? Well, we know she was there BJ Day.
When?
On BJ Day.
Oh.
And then the next thing that I really
So
know
that
is
would be about a year and a half to 2 years after she graduated.
after who?
After Maxine graduated high school.
Oh, okay.
It was VJ Day.
Okay. And then, so she's back. She worked for a telephone company, Oh, I thought this was interesting. When Uncle Jack was in Japan, Ma would call from the telephone company and have Nanny and Aunt Demar on the line. I thought that was cool. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
I remember Mom getting tiny dividend checks from AT&T. Back then it was Southwestern Bell, you know, before they came together and split up again or whatever they
I
did.
think she had like 6 shares.
How many shares?
6.
They were, you know, a check for 68 cents or, 82 cents or whatever.
I wish we still had those shares.
Do you know that Aunt Maxine bought Christmas presents for every cousin? Every one of them. I guess and everybody else in the family. I don't know how many years she did it. I guess she did it till we got grown. Anybody remember that?
I didn't know that.
She did. Every cousin.
That was because she would take Uncle Bill's money and she'd do it on her own. She wouldn't tell Uncle Bill about it. No. Because Uncle Bill was very protective of his money. And she would get it, take it out of his billfold or whatever. And that's how she would buy everybody's.
To keep you in mind,
I just had the funniest memory of going to visit, and Aunt Maxine would be in the front, and somebody would come to give their rent, and she would just put it in her pocket, or say put it in that cubby, or she'd open a drawer and shove it in a drawer, and there was just cash everywhere. And I never stole it, but I thought, that's really funny to open a drawer and there's just lots of cash. I just thought that was so neat.
She didn't get shaken down,
After she died, we joked about, how many people bought a book for 25 cents and opened it and found a couple $100.
Oh, right. That's true. I forgot about that.
What was it? J-A-B-A.
Emma. B-A was Barry.
Yeah.
M-A, Mariana.
Yeah.
J-A, and then W-A. Bamaja what?
Okay.
That is Bama is
I remember.
Bama Jamma.
But that's what they told Jolie's grandmother and granddad's house down and
Right.
built the apartment building.
Right, and that was a beautiful old house.
Oh, yeah, it was. I can remember the hallway walking.
That's called a breezeway.
Yeah.
huh?
Yep.
And then they had sleeping porches.
Yeah. And that was on the back.
And it was up high, so it would raise all the windows around and get the breeze through the night.
Yep.
And you had an attic fan.
Was that in the breezeway or in the living room? Okay. Because I can remember.
Which, if you remember that room that Bill and Maxine slept in, you used to have stairs down into that room.
Ah, okay.
That back side
Oh,
of the
okay.
house,
That-
that back side of the house where Mary's room and
mine and Jack's room and the washroom were all built on.
That's when
The
y'all had it.
house was just 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom.
Right.
And the kitchen and the living room.
Well, so they bought it.
I know.
And then when your daddy bought it, he built on the upper bedroom first. He built that.
He
No,
closed
that
it
was
off.
already there.
It
Closed
was
it.
already there. He closed it off. It was a
There
porch.
was a door there.
That's right. He closed it off, and
Yeah.
you had to go through the bath or by the bathroom
Right.
to go upstairs.
Right.
And then he built a new room for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mary,
the washroom.
And, yeah, in the washroom. Yeah. Okay.
Whatever I was gonna say is gone again.
And so, was Nanny's room original?
What's that?
Jack, was Nanny's room original?
Yeah.
So there's the living room, which while I was alive was just a storage room, but there's also the den, which they used as the living room. So which of those was original, or all of that? Or?
Original in the front room, go through the kitchen, go to this room that was later used for furniture storage.
Yeah. So that part was
the
original.
original living room, and the door was there.
On the south side of the room,
Uh-huh.
you can see the cutout
Yeah.
of the sheetrock.
Yeah.
There were stairs there that led up to the porch. That did not have walls.
Okay.
Sleeping porch.
Had windows all around.
Okay.
And then they added that bathroom
Uh-huh.
and all the stuff on the west side of the house.
Jeannie,
Gotcha.
no?
Okay.
Did she leave?
No. She just left.
Who played the piano more, Uncle Baldy or Uncle Jay?
I think Uncle Jay did.
Uncle Jay?
So Uncle Jay played by ear,
Yeah.
where I don't know if Uncle Baldy played by ear or if he read music.
I think he read music, but both of them played.
Yeah, but Uncle Jay played more than just piano. He had a guitar, he had fiddle.
Yeah. Also, trumpet or,
And mandolin.
Yeah, mandolin, but I don't know about trumpet.
yeah, he had that before they started, or he never brought the trumpet to the get-togethers, whatever.
But they used to have Saturday night jamboree or Friday night jamboree at the Royal Theater.
Oh, okay.
They turned that into a dance place.
Huh. Didn't know that either. But I can remember going down there on Sunday afternoon and everybody singing gospel. Because Uncle Jay or Uncle Paulie were playing the piano. And we stayed there until it was dark and somebody said, we gotta go home.
Was that almost every Sunday? I mean, how frequently did that happen?
Not every Sunday, just on occasions when the family would get together with Nanny. Because it was always Nanny's draw to bring everybody together. And I told the story, I told you the story earlier about me kicking Nanny in the shin.
Oh, I never heard this. Well, I'd have kicked you back.
Probably would have, but I was 5, maybe 6 years old, I can't remember.
You
But
got
I got a
spanked?
brand new pair of cowboy boots.
Oh,
And they had the big flat toes on it.
Yeah.
And it was real long and flat on the toe. And then he scolded me for something with a gun. And I turned around and kicked him.
Bad idea.
And it was a bad idea because Mama came in and found out that her Nanny's shin was bleeding. Oh, that wasn't a good thing. Mama busted my butt. Nanny had already busted my butt. when Daddy got home, Mama told Daddy about me kicking Nanny, and I got my butt busted again. So that was 3 times.
See, that's from
Okay.
the day.
We need to move on.
We gotta get out of here.
Sorry.
Go to finish.
Okay, who else is rest?
Well, that's pretty much all I got on law. Let's go to Uncle Jack.
Baby.
The baby.
John Murray?
So the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you have over there Jackie Wong.
Yep.
Well, that's what my orange book says. But John Murray says it's really Jack.
I'll try to validate whatever the records are when I get back to the house.
I have a new one.
I think so.
I can't. I have no idea.
Right, Nancy's book that I was listed as being at the.
I haven't got one. Because Mother never gave me one.
One of my memories about Uncle Jack is when he and I always called her Aunt Marseille, because I didn't know how to really say it.
Oh, that's funny.
Marseille. He brought back some mechanical toys that you wind up, and he gave me one, a little bear that beats a drum. He gave all his nieces and nephews one of these.
Was that from Germany or?
From Germany, from Germany. Well, I had a dog named Buster. Buster tore up my bear that played drum. Uncle Jack had another one and gave me another. And that's what I remember. Yeah.
Another bear or another dog?
I don't know what it was.
But assumingly it was bear.
It's okay. I'll explain later.
My memory after the wedding, I thought, Aunt DeMar was the most beautiful lady I'd ever seen.
Oh, yes.
Oh, she was a beauty. And Ann over here, I saw her in one of the pictures, and she looked so much like her mother. It was unbelievable. And I thought how beautiful that is. But anyway, when Uncle Jack came back from the army in Germany, I was over at my grandmother's house, my dad's mother's house, and he came and got me on a bicycle. And he put me on the front handlebar, and he had a little basket, and I put my feet in the basket. And he rode from Grandma Lucy's back over to Nanny's, or Maxine's chicken.
Well, Nanny wasn't living with us yet.
No, she lived on, what did you say, Critters, not Critters.
She lived with Uncle Jay and Aunt Susie for a while.
What was the name of the street that did
Critters?
Joey, what street was that?
Yeah.
But it wasn't Clinton.
Well, I'm not sure.
But anyway, he rode me from my grandmother's house, my other grandmother's house. And I was sitting on the front,
You remember that?
over the bars.
Did you get a wind-up toy from Germany?
If I did, I don't remember that.
So
I think that one was yours.
Yeah, he was riding the
Since you're
bike.
the older brother.
He was riding the bike for some reason or another, and he came over and picked me up at my grandmother's house, and we rode back to wherever the house was, where Nanny was.
Well, you weren't that little, though.
When did he get back? He got back in
53.
53. 44.
9 years old. Gonna be 9 years old riding on a bicycle.
Yeah. That's why I say he
Not
put
too
me
bad.
on the front end
Yeah.
rather than on
At
the
least your
back.
feet didn't get in the stirrup. I mean,
No, my
He
feet
tore
didn't.
up.
Yeah.
they didn't have stirrups on in them.
That's one of them. And I've got pictures. I think didn't I give them to you when we were? No, when was it? Because I had pictures of your daddy in his uniform. A couple of pictures. No, I didn't give them to you. I don't guess
I don't
because
know. I have several pictures of him in his uniform,
But I can remember that bicycle ride.
that's funny.
And I don't care if I was 9 years old. I was big. That's why I had to sit on the handlebars.
That is funny.
So, anyway, that's my story about Uncle Jack.
Well, he sure loved all of y'all, and he and my mom. So, I grew up, as you know, mostly in Kansas. So I grew up, had a funny upbringing. I feel like I'm a Midwesterner, but I was raised by two Southern parents, and all of our vacations were here, and you know, with all my cousins. But always on the table was plans for Hot Springs Village. They talked about retiring to Hot Springs Village as long as I can remember. So that was just going to be where they ended up. It was kind of a, kind of a given. So my mom died 6 weeks after my Jackie was born. So, life didn't turn out exactly as he had thought, but his heart was always here, and he always planned on ending up here. So everybody's, it's just super special, and he loved everybody so much.
Why do you think, because you were in Pittsburgh and you were in California, why do you think after 18 died, he didn't move to Arkansas? I mean, he stayed in Kansas City a while, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I don't know, really. He was happy with his golfing buddies and his bus driving job, and he had a really nice girlfriend, and it was just, I don't know, kind of home. He was kind of a homebody. I don't know exactly.
What was it? Nancy, was that her name?
Yeah, for a long time.
She came down here some.
Yeah, and they came out to see us too.
I remember as we traveled on vacation, it was not uncommon to be Colorado or whatever, and he'd run into somebody, or somebody would say, Jack Long, is that you? Yeah, it wasn't every single, but it was common enough, and people all over the place. Never experienced that before. So, yeah, I love this guy, that's for sure. Love this mom.
He liked my wife's cookies too. We went out to see these two in Sacramento to see him also. And Sharon made cookies before we had left Hot Springs. Colorado Springs.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there somewhere. Colorado Springs. And took them, I don't even remember where the place was, but it was some cafe or something, wasn't it? Was it a cafe or a restaurant or whatever?
They asked me to eat a bowl of ice cream if you gave it to him. He'd eat canned peaches and drink the syrup out of it. And probably at his most, he was 7 pounds heavier than he'd ever been. He'd never functioned very well. And, there's a couple of pictures where he's got a little weight on him, but he was 140 two that plus or minus, not when he was in the Army, so we're 29. Yeah, he when we had the tablets, he whatever he wanted. Yeah, no kidding. You make that Jeep.
How tall was he? He was. John Murray, how tall was he?
When his full height, he was probably 5'8"-ish. So he was not the tallest. So I think probably John Moe was probably the tallest. I think Uncle Bill was taller than and John Thomas was taller than all.
Well, I have these papers.
So you get your homework.
Homework.
Hayden, thank you so much.
For making the effort to be here. So special.
Well, she just put this together this morning, so she's been doing some study. That's just to throw that together for a visual is really well done.
Yes. A little housekeeping before we leave. We have to stack these chairs. So
Don't know why I recorded that.